Hi, in this video I would like to discuss and solve problems that came into a mock ACT math test. So the first question here talks about a hexagon that has interior angles in the ratio of 2, 3, 3, 5, 5, and 6. What is the measure of the smallest angle? So remember that if we have the following hexagon, so we know that the sum of the interior angles is equal to 180 degree multiplied by the number of sides minus 2. And remember that these are the interior angles, so theta 1, theta 2, theta 3, theta 4, theta 5, and theta 6. So S basically represents the sum of these angles. And this is equal to, and we know that n is equal to 6 sides, so in this case S is simply 180 degree multiplied by 6 minus 2, which is 4, and this is equal to 720 degrees. Now the ratio of these angles, theta 1 to theta 2 to theta 3 to theta 4 to theta 5 and to theta 6, is given by 2, 3, 3, 5, 5, and 6. So the formula to find each angle, so basically any angle theta I, where I is either 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, is equal to, so if you call these ratios, so it's just theta I divided by the sum of all these theta from 1 to 6 multiplied by the total angle. So this is basically the fraction of the total angle. So the fraction of theta I compared to the total sum. So this will be equal to, in this case, to find the smallest, we pick the one with the smallest ratio, so which is 2 divided by the sum, 2 plus 3 plus 3 plus 5 plus 5 plus 6 multiplied by 720 degree, and this is equal to 2 divided by 24 times 720. So we know that 720 is just 24 times 30. So 24 with 24 will cancel out, and in this case the answer is equal to 2 times 30, which is 60 degrees. So the answer is D. Okay, so the second question says that the length of the two sides of a right triangle are 8 and 10. which of the following could be the length of the third side? So let's first draw a right triangle. Okay, so suppose we have a right triangle and two sides. There was no specification of the sides, which one. So let's assume that this is 10, this is 8, and this is x, an unknown sign. Which of the following could be the length of the third side? So we know that we have the so-called the triangle side inequality, which says that the sum of any two sides of the triangle is always greater than, strictly greater than the third side. So we can form three. So first, three inequalities. We know that 10 plus 8 must be greater than x. 2, 10 plus x must be greater than 8. And 3, 8 plus x must be greater than 10. So from this one, we can know that x is less than 18. That's one condition. From this one, it says that x must be greater than minus 2, which is true. So it adds no value because x is positive, so it's always greater than minus 2. And the third condition says that x must be greater than 10 minus 8, which is 2. So x must be, from this and these two conditions, we have that x must be greater than 2 but less than 18. So we know that it is 6. That's one solution. And we have 2 times root 41. How do you find this? So we know that root 41 is greater than root 36 and less than root 49. So it's between 6 and 7. So 2 times this value, 2 times 6 is 12, less than 2 root 41, less than 14. So we know that 2 root 41 is between 12 and 14, which falls also in this interval. So this is also true. So the answer is B, 1 and 3. Third question. What is the value of W in the figure below? So let's look at this figure. As you can see, we need to find this angle. So if we find this one, let's call it theta, then we know that theta plus W is just 180 degree. So if you know theta, W is simply 180 minus theta. How do I find theta? So let's look at this triangle. Theta is part of a triangle. We know that because this is 12 and this is 12, so these sides are equal, so this triangle is called isosceles triangle. And what we know about the isosceles triangle is that the base angles are equal. Because of that, and this is 30 degree, and we know that the sum of all the angles inside the triangle is equal to 180 degree. So this is 2 theta degree, and we know that 30 degree can be taken to the other side. It becomes negative, so 180 minus 30 degree. So we have theta equal to 150 divided by 2, which is 75 degree. So now if you take this, plug it here, so you get 180 minus 75 degree, which is 110 degree. That's the final answer. So it will be, oh sorry, that should be 105. So the answer is 105, which is B. This question here says the lengths of the sides of a triangle are 3, 5, and x. How many possible values of x are there if x must be an integer? So again, let's draw a triangle with sides given by x, 5, x, 3, and 5. Again, we need to use the triangle inequality. Sides inequality. You have to remember this, which says that the sum of any two sides is greater than the length of the other side. So let's construct these inequalities. So number one, we have that 3 plus 5 must be greater than x. Number two, we have 3 plus x must be greater than 5. And number three, we have 5 plus x must be greater than 3. Now from the first one, we have that x is less than 8, strictly less than 8. So that's the first inequality. Here from this one, we have x must be greater than 2. That's the second inequality. And this one says that x must be greater than minus 2. And there is no need for it because it has no value. X is always greater than 0, so it's always greater than minus 2. So we have that x must be between strictly greater than 2 and strictly less than 8. So what are the integers that are located in the interval greater than 2 and less than 8? So we have 3, we have 4, 5, 6, and 7. So we have 5 values, or 5 possible values for x. So the answer is C. This question, if the difference between the measures of the two acute angles for a right triangle is 20 degrees. So let's first draw a right triangle. So we have this called, let's call it x, let's call it y. These are the two acute angles. They say that the difference y minus x is equal to 20 degrees. What is the measure in degrees of the smaller one? So we know also from the sum of the angles in any triangle, x plus y plus 90 degrees, the sum of these three angles is always equal to 180 degrees. So x plus y, if you take this 90 to the other side, it becomes negative. So it will be 180 minus 90, which is 90. So the sum is equal to 90, and the difference, so minus x plus y, is equal to 20. So if you add these two equations together, x minus x cancels out, and then you will have 2y equal to 110 divide by 2, this will be 55 degree. Now if this is 55 degree, they want we know that x is equal to 35 degree. So the smallest one is 35. So the answer is B. The last question. At a certain high school, the ratio of the left-handed LH to right-handed RH basketball players is 1 to 4. So if you have a class, for every one left-handed, we have 4 right-handed players. So that if the total number of players is 20, how many players are right-handed? So how many right-handed, as I said before, is RH over RH plus LH. This is the ratio, the fraction. So construct the fraction. This is the fraction of the total class multiplied by the total number of players, which is 20. So the answer will be 4 divided by 1 plus 4 times 20, which is 4 over 5 times 20. So cancels out, this becomes 4. So the answer is 16 players. So the answer is D. That's it.